I'm in full screen mode now. Let me save this class. I'll double click here and I'm going to copy this class here. Let's just copy it and let's paste it there. And double click here to get back into full screen mode. I'm going to delete all this information here. And we did an example like this in class where I will do a map get, let's get salary, and I'll put it in object. I'll call this O1. That'll get me the salary information. Okay, I'll do this a couple of times. Let's do 2, 3, and 4. Let's get name. Let's get age. And I'll say here map put mileage, just to have another one here. I'll say here new double, which is just another data type, and I'll put in a value that's really huge. Okay. So now I have a string. I have a float. I have a string. I have a number, which I'm not sure what the number is. I think by default this is a double. We'll see in a second. And then I've explicitly said here a double. Okay. So let's copy that and make this mileage. So make sure we have name here. This will put the name here, which is a string. Salary, which is a float. Age, which is 35. And mileage, which is this right here. Okay. Now what we did in class is we created a object array. Say objects here is equal to new object, which is an array. And then we initialize that array. And we put in all these values of O1, O2, O3, and O4. Okay. There's no such thing as an object, so that should be object, and there it goes. Okay, now the next step is now let's iterate through these just to print them out and look at them. I'll use a for each. The way it works is just a for, open paren, the data type of each row. Since this is an object, each row is an object. I'll say here current row, colon, and what goes here is the array, which is this objects right here. Let's do curly brackets and let's do a print out. I'm typing sys out, control space, and I'll print out the current row. So again, as you're iterating through this, this represents each row. So the first time it'll be row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3. Let's save it and display this information. Run as job application, and there it goes. Okay, we have Jean Boulet, 40,000, 35. Let's just make this a different number so it's easier to distinguish between the two. I'll say 9,500,000. Let's run that again. And good. Okay. Now what I like to do is just run this in slow motion just to see everything. So let's run this in debug mode. Run. Debug is job application. Double click here. Let's step over and we'll see that this map is empty. Step over. You should see now the map has one more value. Step over, step over, step over. The map now has all these values here. You can expand this to see key and value. Step over, step over, step over, step over. Let's look at all the objects. Jean Boulet, float, integer, double. And this one, did this say string? Jean Boulet, but the mere fact that's in quotes, you know it's a string. And let's just resume this. Let's just continue it till it's finished and we have all this data. All right, so that was us just playing around with this and putting into a for loop, and we'll continue this example in the next video.